A new Netflix film called A Week Away talks about what it's like to go to summer camp. I had a chance to talk with the stars of the film, and here's a little bit of our conversation. Please meet Kevin Quinn and Bailee Madison.
It's Bruce Miller and the Sioux City Journal in Sioux City, Iowa.
How's it going, Bruce?
How are you guys?
We're
Doing
good.
well, thanks. How you doing?
Well, I'm great, but did you ever go to camp? Or was this the first time you guys went to camp?
I've been to camp. I grew up near Chicago, so not too far from Sioux City. But I went to camp in Wisconsin for 3 years in a row. It was a great experience. I made a lot of lifelong friends.
What kind of a camp was it? Was it athletic? Was it Christian?
It was just athletic. No, it wasn't Christian or anything. It was just a normal all boys camp. Lots of activities, water activities, hockey. You know, it's fun.
Okay, so for Bailee, this was your first time going to camp.
Yeah,
and was it fun or was it like scary or how was it?
Oh no, I loved it. I mean, I didn't get the full camp experience because, you know, I didn't have to sleep overnight or anything like that. And I was pretty much surrounded by my new family and friends for, you know, the 2 months. But from what I got to experience, I'm a big fan of camp. I loved it.
And Kevin, you must have liked it if you went that many times.
I did. I mean, my parents kind of sent me by no choice of my own. They wanted it to be an experience where I could grow and become more independent of my parents. So I went from the time I was 11 to maybe 13 or 14, and I definitely grew. Just being away from home for the first time in your life, I mean, it's a really easy way to help a kid grow up and become mature.
So you were a bad kid, just like Will, huh?
Not necessarily. I was a handful and a bit unpredictable growing up, but I tried to stay out of trouble.
You never stole the cop car, Kevin.
I never stole the cop car. No.
There we
Did
go.
you get a tattoo at 11 though? Was that part of it?
What's that?
Did you get the tattoo at 11? Is that when that all came in?
No, I got the tattoo at 21 and I got the second at 21 and a half. So I never thought I'd have tattoos, but the day finally came.
Now, the thing that really shocked me about this was how much dodgeball there was. That looks like it was killer for everybody. Did you get hit a lot?
Oh, for sure. Me. I mean, I have not coordinated at all. I thought I lined up the shot great. And it was just like, would just hit the wall. But Kevin was great. He was a good support. He was, you know, cheering me on. I was just happy when Avery got hit. I was like, this is great. Now I'm out. You know what I mean? I'm going to go stand next to Kevin and cheer. But yeah, no, they were tough balls. And we were like, let's not hit the faces at all.
I would so run away from dodgeball if they had that at camp. It'd be like, you know, way, I'm out. I'm tapping out.
No,
I love dodgeball.
You liked it?
Love it. I love it.
You're the killer one who throws those hard balls that really makes you want to die, right?
I mean, yeah, probably. I'm also a big fan of the movie Dodgeball, actually.
Okay.
Just throwing that in there. One of my favorites.
It sounds great. How hard was it to do the dancing with all those people and singing at the same time? Is that a difficult proposition? I would think sometimes we've got to stop because somebody's not doing the right thing, or was it pretty easy?
I think, well, we have what's called a skeleton crew. And because there are 5 actors in the main cast, the choreographer assigns one skeleton crew per each actor. So they kind of serve as the middlemen between the choreographer and the actors. And really, they just kind of dumb down the choreography for us since we're not professional dancers. And I got to say, the work that they did just made it so much easier because I'm not sure we would have been able to pull off those movements quite as successfully if not for their hard work.
Oh, it looks great, but I kept thinking, oh, you know, they're doing this 3 or 4 times. It's not hitting it on the first take.
You know, it's funny though, Bruce, is there were times where we had to get it on the first take. This was, you know, the little movie that could. We didn't find our home with Netflix until after the fact. And so it wasn't like we had open days to go back and reshoot. And oftentimes we were trying to beat the light. Like for the Place in This World sequence, when Kevin and I are dancing on the dock, we filmed everything Place in This World on the first day of filming in one day over a period of starting at 6 a.m. That's including the dialogue, the starts of the music, running and changing locations to the dock. So the dock sequence, I think we had maybe 40 minutes, and that was to cover the wide shots, the 2 shots, the point of views. So oftentimes we only had about a take for each setup.
Wow, that's scary. That's scary.
Yeah, major heart attacks.
I noticed Stephen Curtis Chapman was the lifeguard. Did they have a lot of people like that kind of just dropped in and they were there, or how'd that work?
Really, Steven and Amy Grant were the two big cameos we were able to secure for this movie. So, kind of getting their nod of approval every time we would show them, a new demo of the song that we've been working on. And, it was just a really cool experience to get their approval on it, to get them to sign off on it.
You didn't think, oh my God, I'm singing their song and here I am?
A little bit. I mean, considering just how legendary these songs are in the CCM industry, it's a huge honor to redo them. Just them.
Were you two fans of contemporary Christian music or not?
I was, yeah, I grew up, or am, I grew up listening to those kind of songs and music with my family. It's a big part of our hearts and who we are. So a lot of these songs I grew up listening to, my brother grew up listening to. I remember when I sent him the demo of Place in This World, he called me like crying, sorry, Connor, to expose you. And he was like, this is crazy, kid. Like, I listened to this song for all of my, like, through the hardest years that I had in college. And then for King and Country, a huge fan of their music and the way that they're kind of turning into mainstream media as well with some of their songs and spreading this message. I think they're such a force right now in the music industry. So it was a huge honor, completely.
What surprised me about this is it didn't really thump really hard on the faith-based message, if you know what I mean. You'll see a movie like this and you go, oh, I know where it's going. I know what's happening here. Somebody's going to have some big moment, and you know what I mean? And that wasn't it at all with this. Was that the goal from the start? It's like, no, we'll have Christian music in here. We'll talk about those things, but it's not going to be the whole ball of wax.
From what I understand, after conversations with the writers and producers, that was what they were going for. They wanted it to be very subtle and open it up to not just Christians who could watch this musical, but really anyone. It doesn't matter where you come from, any walk of life, any person. We want this movie to be inclusive for everyone. And I think the fact that it didn't hit so hard on those aspects, but more so just hinted on them, worked to the movie's benefit in opening up that audience for sure.
And I'm assuming that you guys were fans of Camp Rock back in the day?
The
musical?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we literally had Adam Watts, who was in charge of so many of those songs, High School Musical, Camp Rock, teaching us in the vocal booth all of his tricks and working on our music. So it was so full circle. We had a whole cast dinner before filming, and we were blasting Camp Rock and High School Musical and like all singing to Adam, and it was funny. So yeah, huge fan of those movies.
I'm assuming that if this is really successful, we're going back to camp. Is that possible?
That's
the reason why it's the 24th summer and not the 25th, but we'll see. That's really up to Netflix.
And you don't have to be a bad boy now. You can be good, right? Or
you can be good. You can be a good guy.
I mean, I would love to see the character open up a little bit more, especially in the relationship with Avery. I think that would be the.
What if Avery turns bad? What if she's having some
she could be like Sandy. She could be like Sandy in Grease, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, there's a part of her, there's a rebellion coming out, and he's not sure what to do with. There's a new bad kid in camp, and she's like, I'm gonna go fix you too. And he's like, I thought you didn't fix people. There's
the big sleeve of tattoos, right?
Yeah, whole sleeve.
Right. Hey, thank you guys so much, and good luck with this. I think it's a really fun summer movie. I think we'll have a lot of fun with it too.
Thank you so much.
Good
Thank you
to
for
you.
watching.